Welcome to Tailgate Talk, Season 2, Episode number 8. Boys, let's get it poppin'. All right, this weekend, here we had a little change on the podcast, and we want to welcome Grant on board with us. He's going to be coming on board with us. Sean has got some other things that he's having to do a lot. Now, Sean's still going to be doing some recording with us and everything, but right now he's chasing his dream in the music field, and so it's tying him up pretty good. And Grant was gracious enough to come on and help us keep a good three-man flow going and everything. So, Grant, welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'll try to keep the one to my left in check.
That's going to be tough to do right there, buddy. Yeah. You know how it is.
Do you know I always sit over here in the corner? That way I can keep an eye on that and right there.
Oh, man. College football, boys. Week 4.
It's getting real.
Recap. Up first, we had UCLA and LSU. And I'll be honest with you, this game right here, kind of surprised me.
It was tight for a little while in this game, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like Nussmeier, man. LSU's just on a roll with quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
They're always going to have athletes. They're just on a roll with quarterbacks right now. That kid looks like he's going to be a first-round pick, too.
Yeah, and also, you know, anytime you have any doubt, just go Tigers. Tigers, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt like, you know, LSU really found a way this time to kind of hold in there and find that way to win, and that's something that they kind of missed out on a couple of weeks here, but they did look a whole lot better this week against UCLA.
Yeah. At UCLA, that's a tough place to go. Death Valley, Baton Rouge. But they showed up. They didn't stay in Los Angeles. They showed up, but too much, as Kermit would say, too much tiger.
Too much tiger going on.
Yeah, down in Florida, the Gators, they're probably two toughest places in the country to play there.
Anywhere in the SEC. I mean, we've seen that. I mean, you got to look. Kentucky, Georgia game. Kentucky, Georgia game. I mean, look at all these games. I mean, even Norman this weekend with Tennessee.
Look at the atmosphere last week in South Carolina for the South Carolina LSU game, man. Just electric.
Absolutely. And that right there goes to show you what it's like to play in the SEC, man.
SEC crowds show out. That's the bottom line right there. And, you know, speaking of that, the announcers was talking there the other day about Tennessee. Could you imagine if they got home playoff advantage there? Oh, it'd be deafening with Rocky Top music.
Oh, it would be.
Every banjo in Tennessee be tuning up, son. Oh, yeah. All right, we got NC State, 35, number 22, Clemson, 59. I expected Clemson to win this game, but honestly, Clemson, they looked a little sharper this week than they have normally, which I really don't think NC State's as good as we thought they were either.
The offensive line for them just to be as experienced just doesn't control the game like I thought they would.
Right.
You know, they got, I think, 4 graduates starting and a junior maybe up there up front, and they just haven't showed that physicality. Because NC State, you know, they like to play. They like to play in the trenches, and they just haven't owned it like I guess they thought they would. Now Clemson looked a little bit more like the Clemson we thought we'd see. I think too.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
All I gotta say is Tigers.
Kermit was on the Tiger kick last week, Grant. If you didn't get to listen to the podcast, I mean, he definitely was on the Tiger.
I think he's still on it.
He's still on it. That's the first time he's picked 3 of one kind of mascot or one kind of state that has not bit him in the tail. So he's pretty excited about that. All right, Georgia Tech 19, Louisville 31. I thought Georgia Tech would probably have a little better showing in here, but, I figured Louisville's speed would be the difference in the game, and it pretty much was.
I was impressed with Louisville, and I really thought Georgia Tech might have had a chance to beat them and knock them off there. And
this was also Louisville's first ACC matchup, so...
I thought Louisville played a heck of a ball game against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech ain't no slouch. They're a pretty good ball club.
Louisville's flying under the radar. I mean, when you see they're sitting there at 19, and they're just getting into conference play. They could make some noise, and Brian Brom's got the Cardinals a squawking.
Yeah, man.
Louisville's had years before and had success, and this seems like it could line up for them. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but with the rest of that conference,
it is the ACC.
Yeah, that conference is not having a strong year.
It's not looking good right now. Miami's about the only one that's being impressive as of right now.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, but I think they have a little bit bigger test this coming week. But man, they play physical football too. They're fast, but if you watch them on defense, man, they come up and hit you.
Man, they have normally the smallest wide receivers and stuff. Like, they're short and can just burn.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds you of the Rich Rod West Virginia teams.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, Kermit, did you got anything on that one, buddy? Before we move on.
They shocked me. I really didn't think they'd beat Georgia by that much. I thought it'd be a tighter ball game.
Well, USC 24, number 17, Michigan 27. This was one heck of a ball game right here. Son, USC rolled into the big house. And I'll be honest with you, I'm flipping impressed with the way they're playing defense right now. Mm-hmm. They're so gosh darn physical on defense. That's something that you've not seen in Southern California in a long time.
From last year to this year, it's night and day with their defense. It's unbelievable. And to go and, we all know what Michigan wants to do. They want to run the ball.
If they had that defense last year,
oh yeah,
they'd have been unstoppable.
They'd been a playoff team.
Oh yeah,
no doubt.
Definitely.
But to go to Michigan and hang with them, and with that's a tough environment, and we all know Michigan's going to line up and play in a phone booth, as they used to say. And USC held their own, and they're one or two players away, but that's definitely a team to watch.
Yeah, definitely is. Did you watch any of that one, Kermit?
I should have went with Keith on this one. I think he's the only one that picked Michigan, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
But
I know I picked Southern California.
Man, after the way Texas manhandled Michigan, I really honestly didn't think Michigan could pull this out, even if it was at the big house.
But we got to stop and think.
Kudos to Michigan, though.
You said Texas.
Yeah,
that's a whole different animal too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but USC now they lit LSU up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at that, you would think, they would have probably blown Michigan out too. But
yeah, they're good ball team. Like I said, I was really impressed with them, especially when they came to LSU. Their defense. I mean, you're playing an SEC team then, and you better be bringing it, and they did. So that's why I really felt like at that point they'd probably be more physical than Michigan wanted, and that's kind of why I probably went with them. But hats off to Michigan, buddy.
Their fight. Michigan seems like they lost a lot from last year, and it seems like the longer the season goes, they're starting to find their guys now.
Yeah. So like I said last week, Michigan lost so much. Their whole team's in the NFL, and including their coaches. So yeah, but I think Michigan's. I think they're starting to find themselves too. I'm with you. So look out for them. I mean, they're liable to turn this thing around. Number 12, Utah. 22, number 13, Oklahoma State. 19. I had the Utes in this one, so it's not much of a surprise, but I kind of figured that it would be a little bit more lopsided than that.
That's that. Once again, that home field, it's at Oklahoma State, but Utah's Utah until what's his name? Willingham.
Yeah.
Until he decides he's done, Utah's going to be Utah, and their game travels. They're going to play physical. They're going to play tough-nosed defense, and they're just it's like a lot of the teams we'll talk about later with the high school. You have to go and beat them. They don't give you a win. I didn't watch much of it, but what I did watch, Utah was just being Utah, running the ball, throwing when they needed to, and just playing good, sound defense.
Good physical ball.
Yeah, man. Number 7, Tennessee. 25. Number 15, Oklahoma. 15. They matched their ranking, buddy, on points. I'll just be honest with you, this game's closer than the score's closer than what the game was. Tennessee dominated this game. Their flipping defense is so fun to watch, man. And to me, Oklahoma was going to have to force turnovers to be in this game, and they did, which the bad thing was they gave them right back.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Two times we had back-to-back fumbles, wasn't it?
Fumble-eye. Fumble-eye.
Yeah, turn the ball over, and then the first play, they turned it right back to them.
Yeah.
So,
you see Tennessee, you think scoring points and stuff, but Heupel slowed the game down. He leaned on his defense in this when they were dominating. Tennessee, in spurts, had the running game going, but they he slowed it down, shortened the game, which is unusual for them. But if you want to be there in the playoff, or if you want to compete for the conference championship, whatever it takes to win.
yeah, exactly.
And I know they want to play fast and they want to score quick and all that, but yeah, like you said though, if you watch this game on TV, that 25-15.
No, don't tell the story.
No, there was a point in the first half where I think the score was 10-3, and it felt like if Oklahoma didn't score on that possession, that was the ball game. And we're talking in the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm impressed with Nico too, and how he just don't get rattled at all. I mean, he is just so calm, cool, and collected.
And I think they've got about 35 defensive linemen that they can play.
Or 40.
Yeah, or maybe 40, yeah.
But this right here reminds you of old Tennessee ball,
Yeah.
Really great offensive line, and then a high-powered monster defense, and this reminds you of old Tennessee ball right here.
Yep.
They're back.
I mean, a lot of people was kind of on the fence with them being playoff team, maybe not. Playoff team, maybe not. But I think now this win right here puts a staple into it that they're definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, they just got to handle business.
Well, you got Oklahoma, bless their heart. Have y'all seen their schedule?
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, they're on Murderers Road right now. They just played Tennessee. Then their next game will be, I think, was it Alabama or Texas?
I think they've got. I actually think they got Ole Miss. I know they play Ole Miss. Is it Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas? They played like 4 of the top 7 teams here in the next 4 weeks. So,
I think if I'm mistaken, Grant, it is. I'll look this up while we're talking here.
I know one thing that
Oklahoma and Auburn, ain't it?
Yeah, I think they got Auburn this week, and then they go. the for the next 6 games or something. There you go. Aaron's got it up now.
I'm getting the schedule here. I think it's out. They got Texas, Alabama, and Georgia in a row behind Tennessee.
I think they found a quarterback though. Yeah, here we go. Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Missouri. It's not your not your cupcake.
No. I think I misread that one somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, either way, that's freaking murder's road, son. That's unreal.
Ain't no Iowa State in the SEC.
Do what?
Ain't no Iowa States in the SEC.
Oh, no, they're not. No, absolutely not. But, yeah, that's craziness.
But the offense did look better once they brought in that, I can't remember his name now, that they brought in that redshirt freshman quarterback that could run.
Oh, yeah.
And that seemed, because they're pretty weak up front from what I saw, or Tennessee dominated. So you're going to have a more mobile quarterback. And they seem to move the ball a little bit better as he settled in. So maybe they found a quarterback. And they played good defense, which, Brent Venables he made his money for years at Clemson and at Oklahoma before.
Yeah, they definitely, especially at the start of this game, I mean, it took Tennessee a while to get that running game going. And if they hadn't got it going, it would have been a long game.
Yeah, it was. As a Tennessee fan, I was getting a little nervous in the first quarter, won't lie. I was like, oh, man, here we go.
Yeah.
But then Bishop got it going, and then Sampson got it going, and they were, which I saw something, the Oklahoma had been preparing for this offense since January.
Yes. They prepared for Tennessee and coming into the SEC, they prepared for Tennessee and Ole Miss more than any two offenses. So, I mean, you could tell they were kind of ready for what they were going to be seeing and stuff.
Even with that, you watching this game right here, and you're a Tennessee fan, at least you got to feel better. Hey, if we don't put up a lot of points, man, our defense is still going to keep us in ball games.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the truth. But I'll just be honest with you, even if you ain't a Tennessee fan, Kermit, and you're watching Tennessee play,
I don't have to feel good. I don't care what.
No, what I'm saying is even if you're not a Tennessee fan and you're watching them play, it makes you want to be. You know what I mean?
No.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon. Get on the bandwagon, baby.
Keith Chandler don't want to be no Tennessee fan.
Oh, no, he lets that be known right off the bat. All right, boys, week 5, college picks. We're starting to get a little bit better. We're trying to just do mostly the ranked teams, but Virginia Tech got number 8, Miami. Kermit?
Man, Miami's look great this year. They went down there and stumped Florida, and then
Tech has too.
Florida,
what's in that cup?
I think they put up an average of 50-some points a game against people.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it ain't going to change this week.
Yeah. The Tech might slow down a little bit, but I don't think there's any chance that Tech's going to beat them down at Miami.
Okay, they'll slow them down to 52.
They may hold them to 45.
I mean, it's a classic matchup right here. And Tech historically plays them tough, but it's all about the U, baby.
Yeah, and the U's back to the old U.
And I love it.
So who you got?
I got to give me the U.
All day.
All day.
All right, I got the U myself. Number 14, Oklahoma State. Number 13, Kansas State.
You want me to start this one?
You can.
I'm going to go with K-State, it being at Kansas State. Oklahoma State coming off a tough loss, and Kansas State's another one of those teams that typically doesn't beat themselves. And good old fashioned Big 12 matchup here.
Yep. I like their quarterback.
I do. They always have a solid quarterback. They're just always well coached, well prepared. So give me the Wildcats at home.
I'm with you on that. I like the quarterback. I like how he plays, and I think he could be the difference in this game. I got Kansas State.
Now, didn't Kansas State just get killed by BYU 38-9?
Maybe.
I'll take Oklahoma State.
Number 23, Northern Illinois is NC State. Dog, you want to go?
I believe on this, and I'm probably going to go with NC State after Northern Illinois.
What?
They just got beat by Buffalo, unranked Buffalo, pretty bad. So, yeah, give me NC State.
Yeah, I'm going with NC State on this one too because Northern Illinois got that ranking after going into South Bend and beating a
Little
leprechaun that's always overrated in my opinion.
Yeah, that only scored 28 points this week.
Yeah, so you can't see me on the podcast, but I'm doing give me the Wolfpack.
Give him the Wolfpack. I got the Wolfpack too. Kentucky, number 5, Ole Miss.
The Lane train keeps rolling.
Give me the Rebels too.
That's plain and simple. Lane train keeps it rolling.
Yeah, Georgia's left town. It's over. Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss big over Kentucky.
I think Kentucky probably spent all they had in that Georgia game. I do like their running game, though. That running back's really good.
If they can do what they've been able to do against Tennessee in the past, run the ball, shorten the game, they'll keep it close, but it'll also be one of those ones, if you're watching it, it'll never actually be that close. It's probably what the score might indicate, but I just got a feeling that the Rebels are going to run them out of town.
Absolutely. All right. Number 19, Louisville. Number 17, Notre Dame.
Go Cardinals. I'll never pick Notre Dame, ever. I don't care if they're playing the UVA-wise Cavs, the ETSU.
He's starting to sound like Keith.
Yeah.
A little biased.
So I don't much blame him.
They can keep the fighting Lou Holtzes in South Bend.
I like picking the little leprechauns because it drives Aaron crazy. But
No, I like it when you pick the little leprechauns.
But this week I gotta go to Louisville.
Well, I'm taking the little leprechauns this week, baby. Give me the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Number 15, Oklahoma, Auburn.
Go ahead, Kermit.
I think Oklahoma, they went into a tough atmosphere and, played a pretty decent ball game up there. I'm going to take Oklahoma over Auburn.
That's Auburn's a tough place to play. They've underwhelmed this year, but I'm going to sound like Kermit. You ready?
Yeah.
Give me the Tigers.
Give me the Tigers.
Oklahoma has a letdown. I feel like they
Coming off of that last week.
they have a letdown on the road.
Give
me the Tigers.
God dang it, Grant. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, I think if you're Tennessee probably needs them to win this. I mean, either way, it's still 2 SECs. But it just kind of makes that win over them look more impressive. And it is at Auburn.
Auburn did get killed by Cal, if you don't remember. Ooh, Tigers.
Boys, I just hope they retighten the wheels up on the wagon. I'm going with the Sooners.
That's right.
But, I mean, I would not be surprised if Auburn don't lay one on them big time.
That's Auburn football.
It is.
I just think Oklahoma's a lot better than Cal, and Cal put it on over.
Any given Saturday, baby. Mississippi State, number 1, Texas.
Hook 'em.
I got the Horns, too.
I don't care. They got so much talent on that team. I don't care if Archie Manning crawls back out there to play quarterback. They're the number 1 team in the country for a reason.
Yep, they are.
And Mississippi State's, they're struggling.
Very badly. I don't even think I heard a cowbell one in that game. I think their fans stayed at the house.
They won over Nebraska in overtime, but ain't nothing gonna slow Texas down. Go Horns.
Number 24, Illinois, is number 10, Penn State.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I got the nittany lines in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Penn State too. I watched most of that Illinois-Nebraska game, and Illinois played some tough defense, but going to Penn State, man, it's a tall task. So give me Penn State.
Penn State's got some good defense too, and this year they actually got a little offense to go with it.
Yeah.
I love them Lions, man. I tell you, they put up almost as many points against Kent State as Tennessee did without an onside kick, too. Penn State.
But would you not have took that onside kick? I mean, it's like putting a freaking Rolls Royce out there full of $1 million because the guys was like 20 yards off the freaking line. I mean, I'm taking that onside kick too. Number 9, Oregon, UCLA.
And Oregon come out the gate a little slow. They seem to have it rolling. The Bruins played tough down in where'd they play at this past weekend, Kermit? Where was they at? Who was they playing?
Who, Oregon?
No, UCLA. Who was they playing? They was playing the LSU. What's LSU called?
LSU Tigers.
Give me the Ducks.
They're not Tiger Poo this week.
No, they're not. No, they're. Give me the Ducks.
All I gotta say is the Ducks, baby. That's all it needs to be said. They the Ducks.
I like Oregon in this one as well. This one right here, boys. Number 2, Georgia. Number 4, Alabama.
In Tuscaloosa.
This is the way I see this. This is how the Georgia fans look at it too. Everything you can come out be ranked number 1, all you want to be, and you can win every stupid game. But all that don't mean crap if you don't win this ball game right here. And I think Georgia's going to be ready, and I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Well, neither one of these teams has really played anybody this year so far other than Clemson and Wisconsin. And Alabama had an impressive win over Wisconsin. Georgia had an impressive win over Clemson. Other than that, I think just because it's at home, I believe I'm going to take Alabama. Roll Tide.
I'm on the fence with this one, but
Beck.
I'm gonna go with Kellen. You know, a lot of people question Kellen DeBoer. I don't think he has anything to worry about. He's a big game coach. He's at home on Saturday night at 7:30 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Roll it off the other way, baby.
They gonna be singing "Sweet Home Alabama." They're gonna wear their houndstooth hats. They're wearing that. But the dogs are going to eat them alive. Go
right.
Dogs.
That's right. That was pregame, baby.
Yeah.
Pregame.
Yeah, I think Georgia's just they're on a mission this year. They're strictly business this year, I feel.
I feel the same way. Well, that's all we got in college football. We're going to move on into our high school. We'll do our week 4 recap from last week. And first game that we had was Gate City at Marion. Gate City ended up winning this one. I think it was 34-0. Made a quarterback change this week, and it was still kind of slow, but I think that's helped them a little bit. It's got a couple other players out where they can make some plays on the outside now. There's still a work in progress on that offensive line, but in Marion is Marion. And Kermit, I want you to know.
He said it before I did, Grant. He knowed it.
They actually threw the ball this week. Marion throwed some passes.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to see that. Aaron told me, like, man, they look really good. They got this new kid at quarterback, and they put up some points, and I'm going, it's Marion.
Yeah.
It's not evident that.
Poor old Marion.
Yeah, I get it, but the offense actually seemed to be a little more in sync with this guy. I think it's going to be a good move. It may not stay there, but I know one thing: they're going to have to get her fixed fast this week. So,
Gate City plays. I think we're going to get with Gate City. Like when we were talking about some of them college teams, man, they're going to play good defense. They're going to be, the 4 or 5 guys at minimum around the football.
Yeah.
So they're in every game with that, but they get their athletes out there, get the ball in their hands in some space, get where they score some points, and it's a long season. They could be climbing up here as we go.
Absolutely.
You got plenty of time too, buddy, to get better offensively and be putting up some points.
They ain't got a lot of time,
but
we're rolling into week 4, 5, baby.
Their defense always does play good, fundamental play. It don't matter, if them guys is 10th graders or what. They always seem like they come and play as hard as they can. They're pretty tough on defense all the time. I just giving Aaron a hard time, about them Blue Devils, but there's only one team in Scott County, and that's Rye Cove.
Well, them Eagle fans, they sure do support us really good. So
go ahead and put that bandwagon music on there again, big boy.
From me,
dirty dog.
All right. Lehigh put a whooping on Pineville, Kentucky. I figured Lehigh would win this game, but I did not expect it to be by this margin. I know Pineville's been struggling for the past couple seasons, so man, that stinks too because they have such a nice facility over there.
Where's it? I've never.
Like if you go through Middlesboro and just keep going on out like you're going toward
Bell County.
Kind of Bell County-ish way. It's right there on the left. You can see the field down. It's right off of the road there. What is that? 25?
I think yeah.
Yeah, it's right off 25.
Yeah, I don't know much about them. Good for Lehigh. They, they always seems like every year they start out like going to be a different team, and then a lot of people write them off after that first game because they don't open up with a cupcake.
Oh no.
And takes them, maybe they can kind of like we talking about Gate City. Maybe they can get something going here and make a little noise in the second half of the season.
I just kind of like to really see them get back to what they look like in the preseason, man.
Man, preseason, they looked awesome.
They did.
Watched them up there against Tazewell and then watched them against Honeacre. And they just when they're playing the big dogs, it seemed like they're having a hard time pass protecting. And you give Pendergraft time at kicking that.
He's a quarterback, man.
The ball, and they've got some really
great athlete.
Really great receivers, some great speed.
Ridgeview, Virginia High. Ridgeview, I think this one was 21-7, if I ain't mistaken. I was kind of expecting Ridgeview to probably win this one by a tad bit more, maybe like 35 or something like that, 28. But this was a competitive game last year. Virginia High probably had Ridgeview on the ropes last year if they hadn't have
Had some penalties.
Them 15-yard personal foul penalties from running the mouth a little bit, killed them. But and this one being on the ridge and everything, I just kind of expected Ridgeview to win this one a little bit bigger than what they did. But Virginia High's pretty talented. They got a lot of
and they
skill.
got some athletes.
Yeah, they do, and they got some good size on that line too.
I watched them against John Battle there on TV, and they're fast. They got some good looking kids out there.
They do.
Good looking football players, but Ridgeview's just sort of quietly rolling along over here. Of course, I don't think they ain't been challenged yet.
There we go.
It's kind of like you're talking about the talent on this team right here, and Virginia High. I know they're loaded with talent, but that quarterback, he impresses me so much because, man, he'll take off running. You think he's just going to get 3 and get out, and he ends up picking up 8 or 9 really easy.
He can fly.
He's that quick. He's kind of like Mike Vick. When Mike Vick took off, he get 10 yards and it looked like nothing.
Yeah.
And this little dude, he got some wheels on him. I know it wasn't a 40, 50-point ball game, but I think it was a really good game for Ridgeview's defense, and it was a really good win for them.
It was a good win for them. I agree with you there. I think it helped them get a little more prepared for the U coming in when they come in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think they played a really great defensive ball game up there. You shut Virginia High down because one play they can explode and score, and you keep them in check. And Virginia High, I don't think they got that 7 points. Late in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Well, this next one right here, Abingdon and Richlands, I think that one went pretty much the way people expected it. I did hear that Abingdon's starters, starting of the second quarter, went to the concession stand to get them a hot dog and a drink, and when they came back, the C team had already put up 56 points on Richlands. So they just let it be what it was.
Abingdon brought their defense.
And their offenses.
I wouldn't be surprised if their defense didn't put up half them points.
It's probably defenses too.
Yeah. Abingdon seems to be rolling.
Yeah, man. Eastside Chilhowie. This was a good game right here. I felt like Chilhowie probably would have had a little better showing in this one. Not taking anything away from Eastside, but just Chilhowie been playing some pretty good football this year. And, it was a competitive game last year as well, and I think both of them pretty much returned just about the same teams. But another impressive win by Eastside. They're rolling at 4-0. Is this the first time in school history they've been 4-0?
I think so. I think I saw it on his history there. First time they've been 4-0.
So hats off to the East Side Spartans.
I'll tell you something, too. It's become a theme with them, it seems like with their games. If you look at the halftime score, you're like, oh, that's a close game. And you go back and see the final score, you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
7-0, 12-0, and then look at the final score, it's 46-6. Or I know this one was 20-0.
Pitched another shutout.
Yeah, playing some defense up there.
That's all you can ask for.
It's hard to win if you don't score.
Absolutely. Twin Springs, Burton. Burton got their first win of the year. Twin Springs is battling the injury bug now. They've lost 3 or 4 starters. Their starting quarterback's out for the season. He just had surgery and everything. We hate to see that because Keith and him was actually looking pretty good for what they had coming back. Really young team, and was really starting to, maybe show that they was going to be at least in the middle of this fight,
And too, you stack up wins like they do. They do a really good job of scheduling winnable games, and you start stacking wins, and then you get down here to your East Sides and your ICOs, and winning builds confidence, and a confident football team's always a better football team. But hate to hear that with all the injury bugs with them and stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Especially the small schools that the bigger schools, it's you get one or two hurt, you might drop off a little bit, but it seems like smaller schools, man, it's a pretty big drop off. Especially any team though, you lose your quarterback and it's a scramble.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think Twin Springs is probably one of the smallest schools in the state.
Yeah, I've thought Norton's a better team this year than what they was. They look a lot better. The thing about Norton is they are a better team. They just, if you go look at their schedule, they've got one of the toughest schedules in single A ball.
Oh yeah, especially starting the season out.
They played nothing but beast, and then they still got Eastside and Rock Cove to come.
Yeah.
You already got two really, really great ball clubs in your district, but they played Ridgeview and Patrick Henry, and I mean, they played big dogs outside their district, and it's what a lot of people I think don't see about Norton.
I'll tell you something that's back with Burton that all of us know and have seen. Man, they're fast.
Yeah,
they are fast.
They're starting to get that speed back.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
And I was about to pick Burton over Twin Springs, and I should have had, but if I know all the injuries they had and all that stuff too, I would have definitely picked Burton over them. But
yeah, I think all of us probably would have if it been.
I told Aaron after the show, I was like, that's one of them games you just like, did I pick the wrong one? But yeah.
Burton's got some. They're still pretty young. They got some. They could be next year or two. They could be in this conversation with your. They might come up and say, "Hold on, Eastside. Hold on, Rye Cove."
Right.
Remember us? We dominated this district for about 15 years here.
And they still play Eastside tough. I mean,
That'd be the tough.
year,
Yeah.
They give Eastside fits.
Yeah, that's a natural rivalry game.
Yeah.
8 miles.
Throw it out. Throw everything out the window.
Like a M&M, baby. 8 mile.
But if they would have played a easier schedule, they could possibly be 4-0 right now.
Yeah.
But now you got to give them credit. They do play some ball clubs.
Yeah, they're going to have to get on the Unaka train.
Hancock.
And the Hancock counties.
Norfolk, Cumberland.
Yeah. Rocco, Thomas Walker, Rocco's homecoming. I'll tell you, Thomas Walker's a gosh darn good football team too. I mean, they're a whole lot better this year than they were last year. And but Rocco, man, they just continue to roll, man. There's not a whole lot you can say.
No, they're well, like we were talking before we came in here. They're just one of them teams. They're not going to beat themselves. You've got to go beat them. It's well coached, well disciplined, well oiled machine, and Thomas Walker much improved, but I just ran into a buzzsaw.
They're definitely well coached, and they got one heck of a leader out on the field with them. It's hard to beat that right there. The kid would do anything. You can tell he'd do anything for any player on the team, or just to get a score or a win. That's the type of kid you want on your ball club, and especially leading it. It's like Aaron said, Thomas Walker played a really good game against Lehigh. They're not a bad ball club. They're better than what they was last year, and but that just shows you how much better the Cove is. That they are dominant.
Yep. Castlewood, Lebanon. Lebanon goes in and puts their staple in the Russell County this year. Clean sweep of Russell County.
No surprises here. I mean, really,
No.
Double A school against single A school. Castlewood still seems to be searching to get things on track. There's some talent there, but Lebanon seems to be a pretty decent little ball club this year too.
Their quarterback, man, is like zipping that ball, dude.
Yeah,
And
he's looked good since he took over there.
The Baker kid, that's the wide receiver, probably runs some of the best routes I've ever seen a high school kid run.
Yeah, they're Lebanon sort of got it rolling this year.
And he don't put air under it either. He throws it like darts. I mean, them receivers have to be awful good to be catching what because I mean he throws like Dan Marino. You know, he zips it. He don't take none off of it. And them boys are bringing them in and turning it upfield.
Just get your hands on it. I promise it'll stick.
Yeah, it better stick.
What's these new gloves these kids got now? You know, I wish we had them back in the day. One-handed catching stuff, three-finger catching.
Kermit, you have to throw the ball to be able to do those catches.
Oh, yeah, we didn't throw them. Yeah, we did. We had halfback by the left pass and halfback by the right pass. Every now and then a screen here or there.
Long handoff.
Travis Turner played 14 games and had 11 pass attempts on the year.
And he was probably 11 for 11.
Yeah, with 11 touchdowns.
Under.
The quick pitch and option, that was a pass, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tassel, Port Chiswell, Tassel, you know, they're just too much for these single A schools.
Went and watched a part of that Fort Chiswell East Side game a couple weeks ago, and Fort Chiswell had been rolling there for the past few years. They just seem like they've sort of, like a lot of schools, just probably graduated and finding their way, getting back in the getting some kids where they need to be, got some youth. You could tell that just by size and stuff. But yeah, Tazewell's Tazewell.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man.
They had one of the greatest quarterbacks last season. They got him back, and I don't know how he's clicking now with these new receivers and stuff, but they got some of the biggest freaking linemen you've ever seen. But yeah, poor old Fort Chiswell, they've been getting blowed out by everybody, it seems like. Getting beat up on.
Yep. This next one right here, Grundy, Patrick Henry. I'll just be honest with you, man. I'm gonna say my hat's off to Grundy. Them boys fought and fought and fought in this game, and I mean there's 104 points, 105 points scored in this game.
50 to 54.
Boy, it'd been a fun one to watch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, what I saw of it, you know, on NFHS, man, it was awesome. Patrick Henry jumped out on them and got a lead, and just if Grundy could have, I think if they could have started faster, you know, it might have been different. They just kind of got into a hole to where they just didn't dig out. They almost did, but they just in the end it just wasn't enough time.
It's kind of remind you of Honaker and Patrick Henry last year. It's who's going to score last. It's probably going to win this ball game, or who can make one more stop. And I tell you, Grundy really impressed me. I know they's a lot better than what they was last year, but man, they really showed up in this ball game. And Patrick Henry ain't no slouch. About beat Virginia High. What was that, overtime?
I think this one did. That one did go into overtime.
Virginia High and Patrick
Yeah, I think
Henry.
so.
So I mean that just tells you how good Patrick Henry is, and man, Grundy really showed out in this game. And I tell you, this single A ball, man, it's back. There's so many good teams in this single A ball. These playoffs is going to be unreal with these teams. I mean, this regular season, there's already so many tough games.
You know what I like too? It seems like every one of them plays just a little bit different style. So it's not, it's just something like Rye Cove. They're going to line up and they're going to sort of do like the old Appalachia teams. We're going to run the ball right there.
Yeah, stop us. Yeah,
and East Side's a little bit of that with the eye, but they can they can move you around with some passing and some sweeps and stuff. And then you've got Patrick Henry back there, man. I swear, I think that sometimes it's almost like they have 9 linemen on the field. It seems like you got to figure out who's got the football, and just everybody play. Honaker, they're going to play shotgun wide open. It's it's interesting because it's
irate.
Yeah, it's everybody's just a little bit different.
Patrick Henry's kind of shocked me a little bit because I thought when they lost good speed, that kid at run back, man, I thought, well, they're not going to be what they was last year, but man, they've played some great ball this season.
I'll just be honest with you. You can just about put anybody you want to back there behind that D1 lineman they got, and they're going to do some.
I'll tell you something. They got 3 or 4 more that it wouldn't surprise me if when signing day rolls around if we don't see them playing at Emory or some schools like that. They got a couple up there that they're big. They're just big.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, if you can match up with Virginia High's line, you're big.
Yeah, they're.
Last year, Virginia High, when they come down there at Union, it was the first time I'd seen them live, and I was like, man, they got some big boys. I mean, dudes at 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, them Rebels, I don't know what they're feeding them up there, but they're growing them.
Yeah.
They're growing them.
Oh, yeah. Well, Honaker, Holston. I honestly, I really feel like Holston probably had something for Honaker, but this, I think, was a game that Honaker had to win. You know, from where they've been at. I mean, I think this was probably a
panic mode.
A panic mode. I think if Honaker loses this game, it probably the rest of their season probably goes a different way than what it's going to at this point with them winning it.
Absolutely big game for Honaker. They've not been having too many easy games to start this season, and the same thing as Tazewell. They got one of the greatest quarterbacks in the state of Virginia, and he just seems like just ain't had the guys to connect with, and he lost a ton of offensive linemen, and but yeah, I'm glad I didn't go against them like somebody else. Got to go for them Tigers. I can't believe Aaron picked against them.
I really felt like Holston would probably win that game, and it was tight. It was a tight game. It was like 28, 21 at one point in time. I mean, then it's just like Holston ran out of gas at the end.
Yeah, if you're gonna play Honaker, you gotta maybe slow the game down, limit their possessions. They're going to score. They have the ability to score quick, but you got to get after the quarterback and you got to slow it down. And yeah, I'm like you though. I feel like this was like a must-win for Honaker. Won't say they've been struggling. They just think it's like they haven't been clicking on all their cylinders and go in and get a win here, and maybe they'll get rolling during the second half of the season. They're lost all those linemen. At quarterback, you can tell, last year he could sit back there and be comfortable. This year he's not necessarily been able to do that.
Run. He's running for his life back there sometimes. Think about Honaker, though, no matter how they're playing this year, if you ever want to see a 2-minute, a 1-minute offense, just go watch Honaker. Give them the ball with 46 seconds left on the clock. You better be playing defense because them boys know how to get down the field and score.
Yeah. And put the ball on the 5-yard line.
Yeah. And
they can do it in 95. They can do 95 yards at that time.
They run the best 2-minute offense that I've seen. I ain't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, man.
Here's the big one.
There's the
big one from last week.
Yeah, the Union Graham. 2
great defenses.
7-6. I'll just be honest with you. I watched this whole game and I just thought it was a great, awesome defensive battle. Both teams, it was just going at each other. It's like, but I mean, somebody else probably has a different opinion of that. And that's
what it reminded me of. Reminded me of some old school football.
I sent Kermit a message during this game and said, this took me back in time, old school football.
And just 2 great defenses.
2 great defensive battle teams. I mean, like, I think back in, like, even before, like, Gate City, Radford 3-2 wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, it takes me back in time.
And it couldn't have ended, or it couldn't have been come down to a better thing with Union stuffing them on the goal line.
Yeah.
And Graham, no, okay, you stuffed that. Guess what? We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that old school imposing your will on somebody. It was like you said. It took me back too to some of the football we all
definitely
played, watched, grew up watching and loving. And what's your thoughts there, K-Dog?
We're turning you loose, dog.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, we're turning you loose.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm taking the reins off from you, baby.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Are you really not gonna say nothing?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I mean, honestly, just give an opinion, dude. Your opinion's worth a lot, you know.
I think Graham is nowhere near the Graham they was last year, and their offense is terrible. And Union should have put 2 more touchdowns up on Graham easily. But that's my opinion.
Well, I mean, you know.
I'll leave it at that.
and you know, the next time they play, it may be that. You know what I'm saying?
And history tells us they're going to play again.
History tells us that more than likely this right here is going to be your regional championship game.
Until somebody else steps up and says, no, we want to play for the Region D championship.
Absolutely.
Better watch out for that wolf pack, baby.
I mean, that very well could, the wolf pack could actually be there. I mean, right now they're rolling that way.
But it's like Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
And in Ridgeview's case, they got to beat the men.
Yeah, the G, man.
That's right. And the Union Bears.
That's what I'm saying. These 2 teams right here have just, over the past, gosh, what's it been now, 4 straight years? Something like that, Colonel?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Well, in the regular season, they've played the last probably 4 to 5 years, but they've played in the playoffs for probably going over, 10 to 15 years.
But they've been playing. They've
for a good while, yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd say the past.
It's turned into more of like a Union, like a Powell Valley and Richlands used to be, and that's about what it's turned into. You know, you got probably the 2 best teams in Southwest Virginia going at it every year. You know, in the regular season, and that's a game to show up for.
Yeah,
you know,
and
no matter who you are, that's a game you'd want to come and show up for.
And they're more than likely, unless somebody steps up here in the playoffs or something, they're more than likely going to meet again for that Region D championship. It's just,
absolutely.
Them Bears may have been sore from that beating they took from over at the state line there.
From the Toppers.
From them Hilltoppers.
And that's very well true.
They may have not fully recovered from that, but I thought they was at least 2 scores better than that, in my opinion. I think a lot of people down there in Big Stone think the same thing. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
And the good thing about it is, like I keep saying, history tells us they're going to see each other again about Thanksgiving.
They better hope so.
Yeah, man.
The Double A there, it's until Ridgeview's had some good years, but they couldn't get over that either the Union or the Graham hump. Some of these other schools might step up, but I still feel like if you want to come out of the Region D 2A, you're going to have to beat Union or Graham, maybe both of them, depending on where you're seated at.
Yeah.
To in the playoffs and
that's the thing about it. This is a good year to try to make it to state because the years that Graham's went and won it, it seems like the other end of the state was a little down that year.
Yeah.
And this is a great opportunity, a great time to for Union to go try to win state.
Are you saying that Region A and B is down?
I think it's easier for them to make it there this year.
Because C, I see that. Region C is kind of, I think
once you get to the
Radford.
final finale, anything can happen. It just
Yeah.
whoever shows up and plays out, you know.
Whoever don't. Most times it gets down to who don't. The moment's not too big for one or the other. It seems like once you get up there, them last couple of games, you might have a way more talented team, but if they feel that pressure of playing for that championship, it's when you get a team, it's just a good solid team. They get off the bus, they just think, well, this is just another game to us. And you're right about that, but I still say that more than likely you're going to see either
Those
them
two right
Bears
there.
or them G-men and they're representing the Region D.
I feel that way too. I really do. Our Week 5 pick'em, Week 4 pick'em. Sean ended up going 10-2. Kermit was 10-2, and I was 9-3 this past week, and that takes the thing to 42-7 for Sean and Kermit, and I'm now 41-8. Grant,
I guess I'm leading because I've got 0 losses.
well, now we're going to give you 7 losses, and we'll put you at 42-7, and we'll take it from here on out, baby. So you're going to have to do something to pull ahead.
What do you think about him, Kermit? I mean, don't you think I should be first? I'm 0-0. I don't need a participation trophy.
Okay. All right, we'll put you at 0-0, and we'll see how you do the rest of the season. All righty. Our Week 5 pick'em, we got Abingdon, Tennessee High. Start us off, dog.
Going to be a great ball game, man. It's you got two big dogs playing each other, you know, but Abingdon already knocked off one of the big dogs and getting ready to knock off another one. I got Abingdon over Tennessee High.
I have to agree with Kermit. Tennessee High, not that they're a bad ball team, they just don't seem to be the typical Tennessee High team, and Abingdon seems to found their rhythm this year. So give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I think Tennessee High is a great ball club. I mean, I ain't saying they're down or nothing, but
they just don't seem to have the same whatever that they normally have.
Well, the way I see it right here, boys, the Vikings might have to work for it, but they will make it life hard on the Falcons. Tennessee High 28, Abingdon 21. Ridgeview Lehigh. Grant, go ahead.
Lehigh coming off a big win, but give me the Wolfpack. They don't need to say nothing else. Just give me the Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack.
I like to see Pendergraft turn loose a couple of them long bombs. He throws one of the prettiest bombs you ever seen, but I got that Wolfpack D.
Well, the rebuilding season for Lehigh has been a headache for Coach Joey Carroll, who reportedly is pulling his hair out. Ridgeview 54, Lehigh 21. John Battle, Patrick Henry.
You start this one now, big guy.
Yes, John Battle. We still have to wait for a little longer to get their first win. Patrick Henry 42, Battle 14.
Who you got over our Frog?
Man, it's Patrick Henry. They're a really good ball club. You know, I thought John Battle would give Holston a pretty good ball game the way they, you know, played against Virginia High at first half. And you know, I know Abingdon put a lot of points up on them, but it took them most of the game to do that. But the way they just got blowed out by Holston, I you know, a week or two ago, I had to take Patrick Henry. They're rolling.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say give me the Rebels too, and that big line, and like you said, it don't matter who you put back there toting it. I don't think, but I think that line. I think it's close for a half, and I think that just Patrick Henry just wires them out. Just too much running the ball.
Castlewood, Rockhove.
Guess it's back to me, ain't it?
Whichever one of you wants to go.
Well, I'll go with this one. It's give me the Eagles and the Nest.
I'd like to go have an eagle's nest, but
Oh, I would too. I wished it was at Rock Cove.
this is a no-brainer. Take the Cove.
Rock Cove will get their wings shot off coming up 65, but it won't affect the scoreboard. Rock Cove 66, Castlewood 0. Twin Springs, Cumberland Gap. Kermit?
Oh man, this is a coin toss for me, but you know, I know Twin Springs missing about 4 starters, and but I ain't gonna write old Keith off. I believe Keith will find a way to win. I'm gonna go Twin Springs.
I want to go Twin Springs, but just with the injury bug and everything that's going on with all that, and you know, they're just give me Cumberland Gap in a close one. I just think that Twin Springs probably needs another week to figure out their quarterback situation.
Well, the Titans will find a way after some changes in their roster for one more victory in the 2024 season. Twin Springs 18, Cumberland Gap 0. Honaker Grundy, go dog.
Honaker and Grundy, this ought to be a dandy ball game.
There's liable to be 1,000 points scored in this game.
72.
I'm telling you, Honaker seems like they're starting to find their way, but man, Grundy is too. You're talking about 2 different types of ball teams. You know, you got a high flying offense with Honaker, and then you got this power team with Grundy, and you know, it's going to be a showdown. I think I'm going to go with Grundy on this one.
Grundy will be on a mission the rest of the season. Grundy 40, Honaker 32.
How many Honaker scored last week?
Who?
Honaker. How many they scored against Holston? Was it in the 50s?
40s.
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 40.
Grundy scored 52.
Yep.
Grundy scores 63. Honaker scores 35.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Does that almost as 100?
Yeah.
Jim Howie, Northwood. I got this one first. Good thing it's a short bus ride from Northwood, so they can rush home and soak their wounds. Jim Howie 56, Northwood 0.
You going Frog? You want me to go?
It don't matter. I go. I got Chehaly big, man. Chehaly had a disappointing week, and I don't think they're going to have another one.
I agree. You know, Joe Howie been playing some good ball. Like you said, that you know, come down the east side, and that was a good game last year up at Joe Howie. It was another close game. I think Joe Howie just got a little bit much for Northwood.
All right. Rural Retreat, George with Kermit.
Well, Rural Retreat started off the season looking really good with a big impressive win, putting up points. But they've lost 2 since then, and we know what George With is. They're the giant killer. They go take these double-A teams on, and you know, they get beat by some, but some they end up upsetting. I got George With in this one.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a rivalry game, but it's a bit closer than what people might think. But I just think George With just a little too much for Rural Retreat at the end of the ball game. George
With will win the game, but will leave nursing some bruises. George With 35, Rural Retreat 14. Lebanon Richlands.
I'll take this one. Give me the Lebanonian Pioneers. Big.
Well, I don't know if Lebanon's defense will show up like Aberdeen's, but I know their offense will. I got Lebanon big.
Well, the Lebanon Pioneer fans are starting to love yours truly. But the 2024 season dawns. The Pioneer Big Red Band playing some happy tunes. Pioneers 35, Richlands 14. Graham, Virginia High. Give it to us, dog.
Graham. I'm saying that, but don't be surprised if Virginia High don't upset them.
Was it last year that Virginia High played them really tough?
You're daggone right they did. Virginia High is always they was like Gate City used to play Graham all the time, and Virginia High's always been used to playing Graham and played a heck of a ball game against them last year. I'll pick Graham, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get upset.
This game in Bluefield, or is it down here in Bristol?
I believe it's in Bristol.
I believe this one's at Virginia High.
Yeah.
2 long bus rides back to back.
They're used to them.
They are used to them, but
nobody plays right.
I think Virginia High keeps it closer than people think. But at the end of the day, I think that Graham's just a better team. I think, give me Graham. You ready for this score?
I'm ready for it, baby.
13-3 with that great defense.
Well, boys, I want to be honest with you. Tony Palmer is Graham football. The old ball coach has officially established himself and an institution in Graham. Graham 42, Virginia High 0. Another shutout. They've gave up 6 points on this season so far, and going into week 5. Tazewell Princeton. You want this one, dog?
Well, sure. This is a no-brainer, too. I mean, Princeton just put up 63 points on that Bluefield great defense they got, so I don't think Tazewell stands a chance.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Princeton, but
they're good.
All you need to know is they put 63 on Bluefield's
that's all I need to know is they
defense.
put 63 on Bluefield's defense. So give me them over Tazewell.
Well, the Bulldogs sometimes bite before they bark, but not hard enough. Princeton 56, Tazewell 35. Hosting Hurley.
This is sneaky. It's a sneaky game.
You want this one?
I'll take
first?
it. It's at Hurley over to Cliffs.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, that's a tough place to go play. But I still think Holston's just better this year. I'll take Holston 35-14.
Dog?
I want to go see the Cliff, man, and I don't want to go. And this would be a good game.
It would be a good game.
If we could get
You
off
better
work,
leave today, though.
Yeah, I know, but that's
you only got to go through 5 states to get to there.
And it's in Virginia.
Yeah.
Hoston's ready to rebound. I got Hoston over Hurley.
I got it like this. That old Cliff won't scare Hoston after surviving this bus ride. Hoston 45, Hurley 12. And then Gate City Union. Give it to us, dog. Go ahead. Give it to us.
Just read it.
Just disappointed.
Just
man.
read it. Read what you got wrote.
Man, it's going to be a really tight ball game if Union doesn't figure out something on offense. But I'm going to take Union over Gate City.
2 struggling offenses, boys. This one right here. Go ahead.
Talk about them, that 7-6 last week. Gate City plays good team defense. I think the Blue Devils will get tired of tackling Chandler. And I think that Union pulls away in the second half. 24-9.
You missed it on the 9. There's no way Gate City would get 9 points.
Yeah. We're going to snap the ball with Punter's head out of the back of the end
They're
zone.
going to score
Okay, well, I'll give you that. I'll give you that
2-point
one.
conversion and then a safety.
We're getting a touchdown and a safety.
Well, as hard as they will try, Gate City will not turn a negative into a positive. The Union boys will be feeling a little frisky. Union 42, Gate City 0. Boys, that's all we got for this week right here on the on the old podcast. Grant, excuse me for the reverb there. Man, enjoy sitting down with you and doing this thing, man. Hope you had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And everything.
I'll be back if Kermit will let me.
Oh, yeah. He'll let you.
Just pick the Tigers.
That's all it requires is to pick the Tigers.
And go War Eagles.
Yeah, you gotta be with Kermit now. You do gotta be on the War Eagle bandwagon there now. You know how it is.
I can't believe you picked that.
Picked what?
That many points against Gate City. Are you crazy?
No, I'm not. You'll see. Oh, I mean, it's going to be 0 because, Gate City can't move the ball.
They're going to have a punt return for a touchdown.
Now, they could do that.
They're going to kick the extra point, and then Union is going to snap the ball over the punter's head in the back of the end zone. Out of the back of the end zone. There's their 9 points.
I'll take those 9. And I'm sure Coach Housewright will too. Hopefully they get it turned around. 42 to nothing, baby.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, has anybody got anything else? All minds and hearts clear?
Yeah.
I will see you on the next one. Peace.